Rev Reborn is beyond fun, but his abilities have some nuances that you'd be better off learning, otherwise you're going to be putting yourself at a disadvantage. Like seriously, some of these are so simple but can help you so much. For example, simply looking down while using his tactical can change the way you play massively. Because if you jump straight forward in some situations where there's low roofs or inside buildings, your head will hit some sort of ridge or even the roof. But the thing is, if you look down, not only will you jump a lot faster, but you'll also jump a lot lower, allowing you to jump around into smaller spaces with lower roofs, or simply get behind people quicker than normal. And this honestly does work. I've got a few examples here, and this can help you a lot, especially inside larger buildings where you can't do a proper leap. But that isn't the only interesting thing you can do with jump. We've got a lot more good tips. For example, if you know how to super glide, if you shadow pounce right after hitting a super glide, it will cancel the animation and you can jump for a while without suffering the hand animation, so you can get fighting straight away. So if you do feel like you're going to main Rev Reborn, learning super glides is an essential thing which will help you beyond what it normally does. But we have all this advice about his shadow pounce ability, but what if you can't work it out and don't know when to fully jump? Well, there's one indicator which is absolutely massive, and I implore you to learn. Because you may know his hand's set on fire when he's at max charge, but something else happens. An audio cue plays. And if you're a skilled player, this should be your main indicator that his leap is charged, because our brains can react to audio faster than we can visual cues, which is very helpful. And also, learning to focus on an audio cue for a max charge jump will allow you to look at your surroundings more and not just Revenant's hands. And if you use that tip, you should be able to make some pretty good jumps, but you can make better jumps if you find a small wall with a ledge on the side like this, charge up against it and jump against it. It will send you flying backwards. Now this only happens in certain areas where a slight edge over the top of a low wall, but this is also a fun way to surprise your friends, or maybe if you're lucky enough, surprise an enemy with some leap wall jump type of stuff. Very interesting. But enough about his tactical, because his ultimate also has a really cool feature. You know when you activate it and you get a big red orb around you? Well, this orb actually has collision, which means anything can stick onto it or touch it. For example, a Pathfinder grapple or arc stars. If you want to be super cheeky, you can get your friend to stick tons of arc stars to you when you're in the wall. You pounce on an enemy and blow them up. Very interesting strategy, and it's maybe a war crime, but it's still fun. But understanding that when Rev is ulted, he's classed as a collision box is very helpful to your gameplay, and you can use it to play in some weird ways. But when I was talking about that, you may notice the Rev Heirloom on my back. Well, on this Heirloom there's a very interesting animation where Revenant pulls the Heirloom out of a box of roses. A developer did announce yesterday this is officially a reference to Terminator, and also showed his process of making it, which is very interesting. And I love to see behind the scenes stuff from Respawn, because honestly, you can't really beat it, can you? But after everything you've learned in this video, there's still one major thing you need to take into consideration when playing Revenant. He's a sneaky assassin, so you need to play like one. And with Revenant Reborn, Respawn improved his wall climb to make him move horizontally faster in it, which allows for some awesome gameplay. For example, I hit this last night. Learning to wall climb with Rev is really fun and can definitely make you a lot quieter, because at the end of the day, you're not stepping on the floor, enemies won't hear you pulling up. You can also do this on the side of buildings. You can sneak around to a window if you're good enough with this. It's a very interesting way of playing Revenant, which isn't typically explored much by players, so I would implore you to definitely try more, to play sneaky as Revenant. And also, one final tip. If you're near like an average sized wall or building, if you charge up a leap against it and jump against it, it will throw you over the building and surprise anybody on the other side, because at the end of the day, they can't see you charging up to jump over. You can do this in the firing range right now against this area of the building. Very interesting. I wonder what places this is possible in. But do you feel like you learned something new for Revenant Reborn, and have you been playing him? And subscribe for more videos like this.